Okay, welcome to our Monday briefing covering this week and into the weekend. All right, so some of the highlights that we're going to go over today is that we will see pretty nice conditions for today and tomorrow with mainly dry conditions, although a few isolated showers can't be ruled out across South Central Virginia and interior North Carolina this afternoon. A few are actually on radar right now. But the main bulk of this briefing is going to be talking about a prolonged and widespread heat wave that is expected. We'll likely start seeing this starting the mid to late portion, so Wednesday through the holiday week or into the holiday weekend, with Friday and Saturday really being the most significant. And just of note, this has the potential, if our current forecast is correct, to be the most significant heat wave in several years. So what we're expecting, just to briefly go over it, is temperatures reaching 97 to 103 to even potentially higher Thursday through Saturday. But the main thing that we're going to really focus on is the heat indices of 105 to potentially 110 plus. Unfortunately, dry conditions are expected for a majority of the week, but they will start gradually increasing over the holiday weekend. As far as any type of marine weather, we're expecting sub-advisory conditions, so pretty benign marine conditions through the middle of next week. All right, so as far as the weather pattern goes, we did have a front come through that brought us a decent amount of rainfall, especially with the rainfall that we saw in Richmond yesterday that led to a few flash flood warnings, one or two being considerable. So we've got our front that's now well south of the area, and it will continue to move south. High pressure will start to build over the area, as you can see, big blue H, and it will settle across the area through the end of the week. So the surface high plus the ridging aloft will bring us our heat wave through the end of the week and into the weekend. So as mentioned, pretty dry for the remainder of the week and into the weekend, aside from the few showers that we're seeing this morning, but they've remained pretty light. And continuing through the weekend, the only thing we're expecting right now is the potential for some isolated scattered convection, which will really be the only way we can cool anything down, but I wouldn't expect too much in the way of convection helping cool things down. It'll be a very warm week. All right, so now getting into the fall. Can everyone hear me? I see a question about that you've lost sound, so I just want to make sure. I'm not all good. Okay, just wanted to make sure. So Rebecca, I'm not quite sure what's going on. So hopefully you've gotten it back. But thank you all for your responses. So I'm going to go ahead and carry on. And Rebecca, there will be a recording of this, so you can watch it. Oh, alrighty. Moving on. So as far as the excessive heat threat for the next few days, as I said, we'll have a pretty good next few days, and then the extreme heat risk will start to ramp up on Wednesday and Wednesday night and really start warming things up on Thursday through Friday. So we're looking at least significant to even pockets of extreme heat on Friday. Looking at the heat index, just another way to look at how high the heat will feel. So today, mid to upper 80s, to near 90 in the areas west of I-95. Continuing into Tuesday, we'll start seeing a little bit of a warm up, but not too much. So most areas we'll see in the lower 90s, with the coastal areas seeing in the upper 80s. And then heading into Wednesday, as I mentioned, really going to start seeing things ramp up with heat indices up to 105 in the northwest portions of our area and 100 for the majority of our area. Although areas in the far southeastern corner of Virginia and northeastern North Carolina, as well as portions of the eastern shore, could remain in the upper 90s. As of right now, we don't have any heat heat advisories or excessive heat watches out yet. They may be coming, but as of right now, we do not have anything out. Right. So some of the key messages, just to really focus on the heat, as I mentioned, prolonged widespread heat wave. So the thing about this heat wave and most heat waves in general is you're going to have those warm overnight temperatures. So you will not have much relief overnight. And this actually has one of the potential to be the most significant in both magnitude and duration since July 2012 for most of our area. And we did look it up earlier that for at least Richmond, if our forecast verifies, and this could be the hottest 4th of July for our climatological record for that area, but we shall see. Just a brief overview of some of the cities. It's a little bit more condensed than the graphs that we usually see, just to kind of give you, it's going to be very similar in most areas. So as far as temperatures go, looking at Thursday, you'll start seeing actual real temperatures, not just the heat indices, creep up into the upper 90s to lower 100s. As far as this area, you're probably going to see more in the northwestern portions of the area, so from like Richmond northwest. With some of the areas such as like Virginia Beach, Ocean City, more coastal areas still in the 90s. But heading into Friday, most of those areas will also start creeping up into the lower 100s, or around 100. And through Saturday, while Friday does right now look to be the hottest day, it's really not much of a relief. Looking at Saturday, so for the 4th of July holiday weekend, where I know a lot of events are going on, you will have temperatures around 100 in a lot of places, or in the mid to upper 90s. The real impacts are going to come from the heat indices. So we're looking basically Thursday through Saturday for areas to see peak heat indices of about 105 to 110. So just know that heat-related illnesses are definitely likely in these types of temperatures. So definitely be prepared for that. So it's going to be a very warm and humid weekend with potentially dangerous heat advisories or dangerous heat indices. And just one more quick look. What I'm going to focus on here is just basically looking at the minimum temperatures. As you can see, as I mentioned, the minimum temperatures, while they do go down into the 70s, they still will be generally in the mid to upper 70s. So not really expecting too much relief in most of the areas. And as far as precipitation, still really not expecting much in the way of precipitation through this week, with the scattered afternoon convection possible Saturday through Monday. All right, now we're kind of switching gears, talking about the rip current risk. So as of right now, we do have a moderate rip current risk out for all beaches. On Tuesday, the southern beaches will remain in a moderate risk, while the northern beaches drop to low. And then by midweek, we will see the low, all beaches with a low rip risk. All right. And we'll just do a quick dive into next week. So you can see above normal temperatures continue to be favored in our 6 to 10 day outlook. As far as precipitation, it does say, slightly above normal precipitation. With the scattered convection expected, this will probably be isolated, just where thunderstorms do develop. And for the drought, we do have an updated drought monitor that was, at least updated on the 23rd. So you can see that the drought is starting to relatively lessen, just due to some improving, just due to the 3 to 5 inches of rainfall that we've had over the past 7 days. A lot of the area still does remain in D2 to D3, so severe to extreme drought. Hopefully some of the rainfall that we received yesterday will continue to help. However, we still do need a decent amount of rainfall over the next 30 days to effectively end any type of drought that we are in. As far as tropical goes, there is a 10% chance for formation off of the coast of the Carolinas, with actually the front that moved through. However, this is not expected to impact the area. All right, I'm going to move over to marine real quickly for any marine partners. So I'll kind of roll through this pretty quick just because we really don't have too much in the way of marine hazards. As far as the marine risk, very, very low. Looking at this, we're really not expecting anything much in the way of small craft advisories through at least mid next week. For the wind forecast, should be mostly onshore, which is actually very good for some of the coastal areas in terms of temperatures for the next few days, but then will become southerly to southwesterly, which does promote more heating across the land. But regardless, all of these do still remain under small craft advisory levels. And same for the coastal waters, all remaining under small craft advisory levels through at least Thursday. And then as far as looking into just a little marine wind summary, once again, all remaining below sub-advisory criteria. As far as seas go, very benign seas. The highest you're probably going to see is right at the mouth of the bay today, so 3-foot seas, but generally 1 to 2 feet everywhere else for the bay. And for the coastal waters, some of the offshore, especially in the southeastern zones, could see 5 feet, but looking at roughly between 2 to 4 feet for most of the area. And I think I'm going to go ahead and stop there. So moving back over to here. So if there's any questions, please do let me know. And our next briefing is still scheduled for July 2nd.